In this video, we're looking at energy as a broad concept, so it's going to overview it and set up for the rest of the kind of topics where we talk about it. So jumping on into it, the reason that we care about energy, or the reason why it's useful, is because it lets us compare seemingly unrelated physical changes. So as an example of this, for example, the distance that an object falls can be compared to how much its temperature increases. So these two things don't seem to have anything to do with each other, right? Distance that something's moving and a temperature change. But with energy, we can actually relate these two. I can say, oh, this one, like this temperature change is twice as much of an impact on something as the distance moved. And this will make more sense when we jump into it a little bit later, but kind of bear with me with it for now. And the last thing that I want to say kind of right off the bat here is that energy is measured in joules, Joulese, and 1 joule is 1 kilogram meters squared per second squared. So it's almost like a Newton, but it's a Newton times an extra meters, if you want to think about it that way. So another way of thinking about energy that kind of is useful for physics here is thinking about it like money for physics. So energy is like money. So if you think about how we use money in society, we place value on goods and services. So we might say, it's however much money to buy a meal at a restaurant. And so that monetary value, however much we've said it's worth, can be used to compare different goods and services. So for example, one computer is maybe about the same price as 10,000 loaves of bread. So what that means is kind of indirectly we're saying that one computer is roughly equal in value to 10,000 loaves of bread. Now this isn't perfect. There's obviously lots of issues with economics and power dynamics and stuff like that. But this is the idea that we're getting at, is it's this abstract concept, money, that lets us compare different things that we normally wouldn't think we could compare. In this case, for example, like I said, a computer to loaves of bread. And similarly, money doesn't really exist in the same way that products do. Like having money in your wallet, the money itself, like the piece of paper, that physical object that exists, that's not what you care about. You care about the value that it represents. This is why, and actually in modern kind of culture and society, a lot of the monetary transactions are entirely devoid of physical objects, right? A lot of it's done with computers and cards and stuff like that. And that's kind of emphasizing this idea of it's a concept of an idea or an abstraction of value. In the same way we talk about energy, it's a concept of an abstraction of a physical change. This is really confusing to kind of really fully grasp and wrap your brain around, so that's why it's going to be best defined using a model. And we're going to call this the energy interaction model. We'll introduce that in another video. But I also want to point out that for this unit, we're going to focus on this mechanical energy, which is the energy of objects close to Earth. So we're going to talk about objects kind of moving and changing and stuff while they're close to Earth. And all that type of motions and changes and stuff like that, that's what we're talking about with mechanical energy.